It's not every day that people call for a game to not succeed. Sure, we have our own preferences of what is probably better for the gaming industry, but sometimes games just keep coming out and they don't give themselves a chance to get better. Sometimes a game or a franchise just needs to the D word. We can't really say it on YouTube a lot, but you guys know what I mean. That may sound harsh, but we're going to go over games today that should probably have the D word happen and take a few years to get themselves back on the right track, or just call it quits, retire for good. Let me know in the comments what game you think should D word. Drop a like, make sure you have your notifications turned on. Welcome to Chaos Gaming, everybody. And here we go. This month's giveaway is for your choice of a PS5 or an Xbox Series X. All you have to do to enter is drop a like, make sure you're subscribed, and leave a comment with your Twitter handle so we can get hold of you telling me which one you want. The winner is picked at the end of the month. Good luck. Metal Gear, please hear me out. Metal Gear is one of the most influential and critically acclaimed franchises in gaming history. We all know that. It practically invented stealth games as we know them, and they helped push storytelling in video games forward. So why would I put the series on this list? Well, because series director Hideo Kojima was kicked off the license, right? And then Konami went on to make the insulting cash grab that was known as Metal Gear Survive. I also remind you, this is the exact same thing that Konami did in Silent Hill. The original games were amazing, and then they gave the original developers the boot and tried to make something more appealing to the masses, and then the series died because it no longer had what made it unique in the first place. So for the sake of every gamer in the world, I mean every Metal Gear fan, it's time to take a break. Just re-release all the originals, drop some PC ports, and then put Metal Gear in the vault before you can do any more damage. Gears of War, oh my gosh, people are gonna lose it. Now, Gears was a landmark third-person shooter. Released for the 360, it was great, gritty, visceral. Series helped to redefine the third-person shooter genre as we know, and it laid the foundation for so many gameplay mechanics we now consider to be commonplace. But following the release of Gears 3, the series, it started losing its way. First, there was the disappointing Gears of War Judgment. Then there was the slightly less disappointing Gears of War 4. Then there was the very disappointing Gears 5. And then surprisingly good Gears Tactics, which really just acted as evidence the studios involved should be doing something else. The mainline Gears games, they're just not what they used to be. The spin-offs are actually doing better, which is weird. So why not let the main Gears franchise rest while the studio works on new IPs based on the ideas laid by the spin-offs? Gears of War has really gone as far as it can at this point. I think maybe it's time for Microsoft to retire it. Ghost Recon. Now, I'm torn here. If you're going to change the Ghost Recon formula dramatically, why call it Ghost Recon? It started out as a tactical shooter with the first release being all the way back in 2010, or 2001 actually, almost 20 years ago. Throughout the 2000s, it helped establish what tactical shooting was supposed to be alongside the Rainbow Six and SWAT franchises. But after struggling to adapt, they decided to give the series a giant makeover. In 2017, it was an open world shooter called Ghost Recon Wildlands, and then in 2019, it was a looter shooter called Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Now, Ghost Recon used to be really slow-paced, very tense, very tactical. Now, it's just another open world sandbox. So maybe let the license rest for a little while. Focus on other open world games and maybe bring it back later. Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't understand why Sonic is actually still a thing. Sega seriously can't figure out what they're supposed to do with the little blue guy. Honestly, I don't think they've known what to do with him since the early 2000s. Don't get me wrong. The first 10 years or so of Sonic was great. You had the original 2D platformers, then you had Sonic Adventure, Sonic Heroes, but starting around 2005, it started going off the rails. There's only so many things you can do with the Hedgehog, who runs fast, and that honestly led to a lot of stinkers. Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic Boom, Sonic 06, Sonic Forces, the list goes on and on. At this point, I'm pretty sure the bad Sonic games outweigh the good ones, but Sega keeps on trying. Every few years, they'll put out a good one. But it seems like every time they do that, they feel obligated to put out another one that's not so good. So just let Sonic rest. He's not Mario, he's Sonic. If you can't keep reinventing yourself like Mario, don't worry about it. You've got other properties you can go at. Kingdom Hearts. Now, Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't know, you tell me, was it a disappointment? A lot of us thought Square Enix was going to retire the franchise, but they didn't. And I started seeing YouTube ads for this new rhythm game spinoff called Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. And then there was also a browser and mobile spinoff called Kingdom Hearts Dark Road that apparently came out earlier this year, and I never even heard about it. Now look, we can agree. The Kingdom Hearts probably has ran its course. I adore the original games, but it's saddening to see the license just being thrown around now. We waited so long for KH3, and now that we got it, it's almost like Square Enix saw that was a green light to start spamming us with spin-offs that nobody really asked for. Just re-release the original games on the new consoles, give some Steam ports, and call it a day. At number 5, Battlefield. Now, before you dislike the video, you probably already have. Let me say, I love the Battlefield series. I've got a lot of memories with it. I think they're mostly great games with awesome gameplay mechanics. However, I mean, come on. Put anything out with the franchise that's new? I don't know. After seeing what happened to Battlefront 2 and Battlefield 5, I think EA in general may need to take a step back from multiplayer shooters and figure out what made them good in the first place. Granted, that's what they're doing right now. But if Battlefield 6 ends up being underwhelming, it's probably time to say goodnight to the series. Call of Duty may be a lot of the same year every year, but it's also a lot different every year, and you get a ton of bang for your buck. Modern Battlefield can't seem to decide if it wants to be more like Call of Duty or more like old school Battlefield. When you keep half-stepping it and riding that line, you please nobody. I really want Battlefield 6 to be good. I really want the series to be revived. Do I think it's going to happen? 50-50. Final Fantasy. What? Aside from the irony that Final Fantasy has been around for over 30 years, the series hasn't really been on top of its game for a while. I'm never going to deny that many of the original games are masterpieces. But when the last time a Final Fantasy game came out that people unanimously call good, I don't know. Final Fantasy 13 was average. 14 was not good and had to be completely re-released. 15 was okay, I guess. And now 16 is in development with no release date. Now, there were some side projects like 7, the remake, which was extremely polarizing due to all the cut content. We also got a Final Fantasy 14 Online, which was pretty popular, but not exactly a mainline entry. I don't know. Maybe Square Enix needs to take a step back, figure out what the heck they're doing with the series, because it may be just throwing anything at the wall to see what sticks strategy right now. Halo. What? I love Halo. But if Halo Infinite ends up being disappointing or mediocre, it may be time. Halo started back almost 20 years ago. It was huge, massive success. The days of the original Xbox and the 360, but once Bungie left the series and 343 took over, things got rough. Since the developer change, the quality of Halo games has been inconsistent. Almost all of them have been incredibly buggy, with Halo 5 and the Master Chief Collection being particular. Now, Halo did so many great things for gaming, but sometimes the giants need to rest. I want Infinite to be so good. I want it to blow us out of the room on day one. But I think it's time for Microsoft to think about it if it's not. I don't know. Madden. If it disappears, would you be okay? I don't even know what to say here. They're all the same. They really look all the same. I don't know. You guys remember back in the PS2 days when there was multiple NFL games all competing and it led to NFL games being good because they were all trying to outdo each other? Well, there's no competition now. They release a game every year that's 99% the same as the last one. They stuff it full of microtransactions and people continue to buy it. Madden. And if you say Madden in one breath, you have to say FIFA. If we're deleting Madden, well, FIFA. Same problems, arguably even more. New game every year, no innovation. I mean, I don't think there is, but still full price and stuff with microtransactions. Please, maybe rest it. If we stop buying them, maybe the NFL and MLS will see a reason to stop signing exclusivity deals with EA and we'll actually get more developers taking a crack at good sports games again. I want sports games to be good. And as long as EA has their stranglehold on the genre, I don't know if that's going to happen because competition breeds success and there is no competition for FIFA or Madden. And there you have it. That was a rough list. You guys let me know where you agree or disagree and I'll see you soon.